Hey, what's up, witches? It's me, Luna, here with another deck to unbox, and we're going to get right to it. This deck is the Work Your Light Oracle deck, and I just did the Rose Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. This is another Rebecca Campbell deck. So I thought, why not kind of back to back so you can compare. This artwork is by Danielle Noel, who's the same artist for the Starseed Oracle, but not for the Rose Oracle. This is again a Hay House deck, and I've had the Starseed for a few years, and I really love that deck. I vibe with it. I understand it. It feels very Aquarian to me, and that works for me. The Rose Oracle, not so much. I found it very almost one note, but it certainly has its place. So let's see how this one goes. Are you ready to work your light? This beautiful 44-card Oracle deck has been created to help you light up the world with your presence. By working with its 5 suits and connecting with your intuition, you'll be able to start living a life in alignment with who you truly are. Interesting that there are suits. I kind of like that. Confirmation cards give a quick hit of instant guidance. Inquiry cards help you tune into the whispers of your soul. Action cards guide you on what action to take. Activation cards invoke healing within you. Transmission cards connect you with supportive energies. So those are the suits: confirmation, inquiry, action, activation, and transmission. Rebecca Campbell is a celebrated spiritual teacher and the best-selling author of Light is the New Black. RebeccaCampbell.me. Danielle Noel is a designer and artist whose work weaves together mystical narratives and intuitive visions, and that is DanielleNoel.art. Okay, now, hooray for the thumb holds. I did a, was it the rose that didn't have them, or was it the bird deck? I think it was the bird. And yet, it took a lot to get the lid off of this. So it's a nice two-part box. It says, "You are the Oracle." Here's our book. Nice size. This guidebook explains how to use the Work Your Light Oracle cards to deepen your relationship with your soul and the source of all things. It contains in-depth meanings for each of the 44 cards and reveals how to attune your cards, activate a soul space before starting work, create different card spreads, and give readings for other people. When you work with the cards, you'll find that your intuition increases, your soul's voice gets louder, and you're able to deeply embrace who you are and the work you came here to do. Okay, let's look at, as you saw in the title card, it's 2018. And we have Welcome to the Work Your Light Oracle. You are the Oracle, working with the Work Your Light Oracle, reading for other people, Work Your Light Oracle attunement, opening sacred soul space, and Work Your Light Oracle card spreads. I don't, do we have to repeat and put in bold the name of the deck every time? Okay, apparently so. So suit 1, confirmation cards, there's 4 cards. Suit 2, the inquiry, has more than 4 cards. And the 5, the transmission cards, there's 4 of those. So 4 of the first suit, 4 of the second suit, which means that would leave 36 cards, which would mean 12 each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes, so the other 3 suits, activation, action, and inquiry, have 12 each. And then become a Work Your Light Oracle card reader. About the artist, about the author. We'll go there first. About the artist, Danielle Noel is a multidisciplinary artist who creates intuitive wellness tools for spiritual practitioners and seekers. She is the creator of the internationally renowned Starchild Tarot. Oh, and the forthcoming Moonchild Tarot. Do I know those? I don't. And is dedicated to helping others find their own illumination through the offerings she creates. Her unique brand blends ancient lore, rich symbology, and sacred wisdom. She lives with her partner, 2 dogs, and a cat on Gabrielle Island, British Columbia, Canada. Rebecca Campbell is a celebrated spiritual teacher and best-selling. Okay, so I read that from the back. And Starchild Tarot on Facebook, at Starchild Tarot on Instagram, DanielleNoel.art. Okay. Let's read a bit. There is a field of consciousness where all wisdom resides, a field where all of the answers to all of the questions that you could possible fathom live. Editing. A field where past, present, and future exist simultaneously, where the wisdom of the heavens and earth calls you by name. Now, this is a characteristic of Rebecca Campbell's writing, and it kind of drives me nuts a little bit. Rather than putting commas, there's a field of consciousness wherein all wisdom resides. Maybe colon or comma, a field where all the answers to all the questions live, comma, a field where past, present, future exist simultaneously, comma, where the wisdom of the heaven, but these are all separate sentences and they're sentence fragments, and I find it disruptive when I'm reading. Where what you are seeking is also seeking you, period. A field where all soul contracts, history, and guidance whisper eternal, period. That's not a whole sentence. A field where the book of your soul is open for you to flick through. So that whole paragraph was sentence fragments, except for the very first sentence. The Work Your Light Oracle, this is my Mercury in Virgo conjuncting Pluto. I cannot help it. The Work Your Light Oracle was created to help you connect with this wisdom, to hear the whispers of your soul, to tap into this collective field, to access and increase your psychic senses, to bring your life into alignment. Period. To surrender back to the rhythm of the universe. It's just no rhyme or reason. If you want a six-pack, you need to work out your abs. The same goes for your soul. If you want to hear the whispers clearly, you've got to show up and listen. If you want to deepen your relationship with the subtle realms, you need to commit to spending more time with your soul. If you want to light up the room with your presence, you got to turn on your light daily. If you want your life to be in a light. So there's a lot of repetitive examples. When you regularly work your light, you'll find that you hear your intuition more and more clearly. Yes. All right. Let's go to I'm just going to read the bolded things here. You are the oracle and you can go direct to the source, Rather, I invite you to see each card as a doorway into the portal of your own guidance. So it says, try not to see it as a process of seeking answers or guidance from outside of yourself. Yes. May these cards activate, transmit, and prompt a deep soul remembering with every new shuffle and spread. May they guide you back home to the deepest caverns of your heart, where all of the answers that you long for are forever calling you and know you by name. I love you, Rebecca. So that's very nice. All right, Suit 1 confirmation cards. Cards that give a clear black and white answer to your question, the most direct of all the cards. And what was that called again? Confirmation. Inquiry. Prompts will help you to clearly hear the whispers of your soul, voice them, and then let them move you. The prompts are for you to answer. You can answer them out loud, meditate on them alone, chew them over with a friend, or hit your journal for a good 20 minutes. All work. Action cards. Cards that give guidance and inspire specific physical action. Energetically, they're here to prompt some sort of movement to get you out of your head and into physical action, often physical. Activation cards that activate energies and healing within you or the person you're reading for. They're all about activating who we are at soul level. These cards each have an activation invocation to be read out loud for the activation to take place at soul level. Transmission cards. They act as initiations and transmissions. This is very clear. Each of these sections, they have a specific purpose, and she's very clear at saying what they're for. These cards are very energetic and connect us to other realms of support, wisdom, creativity, consciousness, and healing. Each of these has a transmission invocation to be read aloud to help you receive the transmission in full. And there's a section reading for other people. My prayer is that these cards be used as a vehicle for all who come into contact with them to have a deeper experience with their unique soul. Work Your Light Oracle Attunement. The following attunement is a ritual for you to connect with and attune to your oracle deck at soul level. You can do this attunement once, or if you feel called, you can do it each time you use the cards. So it says, hold it to the earth at your root chakra or your root chakra at the base of your spine, then say the following. And then you bring it to your heart, and then you raise it above the crown of your head. Okay, I think we'll read those when we get there. Opening sacred soul space, Working Your Light Oracle card spreads. Instant Guidance is 1 card. Soul Calling, 2 card. Holy Trinity, 3 card. Decision Maker. Okay. It's a layout for helping you to make a decision or to feel into the possible outcomes of each potential path. Start by thinking of your question and then write down each of the different options or possible decisions on different sticky notes or pieces of paper. Fold up the pieces of paper and move them around so you don't know which one's which. Next, shuffle the cards, infusing your question into the cards as you do. Once you feel ready, select a card for each piece of paper. Put the rest of the cards aside and unfold each piece of paper. Turn over the selected card for each option. Whichever card's been selected for each option is the likely outcome for each decision. I don't see, I mean, it's nice, it's kind of double blind if you fold them up so you can't tell what's on them, but it would work just as well to just say, here's this option, lay them out so you can see them, shuffle the cards. You're shuffling so you don't know which card's going to go, and just put a card there. Save the paper. Cosmic Cross is an 11th card spread, and then we're into the first suit. All right, let's get to the cards. All right. Take the paper band off. It's a manageable deck. The cardstock is Hay House. It's going to be thicker, but it doesn't feel too bad. Here is the back. I love the roses and the geometric patterns. They very much, the color palette reminds me a lot of Starseed. This reminds me a lot of Starseed. There was a lot of blues and greens in that deck, and I'll have to show you. I've used it in live streams a couple of times, but I bought some Sharpie highlighter pens in lots of different colors to edge that deck, and I just chose one that would match mostly the image on each card, and it gave this beautiful, really soft pastel-y rainbow. I may do that with this deck too, who knows. I feel like I'm through my deck edging phase. I was rabid about it for a while. Okay, here we go. First is the Ever Unfolding Rose, and I'm going to keep the book next to me to remind myself what these suits are. So the first 4 cards are confirmation cards, and let me see here. And she said that these give clear black and white answers, and there's 4 of them. So let's take a look. And yeah, we have the Ever Unfolding Rose cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. Ooh, I like that. That's a really important reframe. That, crack open your mind and stop being a victim of your own life. I was just saying to my daughter, my sister, one of them I was talking to today, and talking about, are you living your life or is it just happening to you? This card is no, wait, postpone, pause, say no. And look at the palette there. Very clear images. So in comparing this with the rose, and I have to because I just did that deck, already we have very clear images. Rose was very nebulous and beautiful and soft, very soft. No hard edges, but that kind of softness also takes out clarity. These are clear. This one is yes. It says just say yes. Again, very clear. We have photographic images collaged together beautifully. And then this is the 4th one. You're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. All right. I wish, see this little triangle? The Starseed and the Rose Oracle both have this little triangle too. I think it would be helpful if there were a number there, especially since the table of contents groups the cards in suits and not in alphabetical order. They're alphabetized within each suit, but you have to go through each suit to find them because I cannot see anything that tells me that this is the suit of inquiry. If you're going to do suits and they're going to be distinct, then please give me a visual cue so I can sort them out. Because I could see a useful practice would be, you know, if I only need a direct answer, yes, no, whatever, just take those 4 cards and shuffle them up and see what the answer is. Or I'm going to inquire into something. Let's just use those cards. So, you know, there would be a call for sorting them out to use them in different ways, but they're not going to be easy to sort because they're not numbered and they're not differentiated. That's a shame. That's a missed opportunity. I'm tempted to, you know, I may put symbols on them to show me what the suits are because they missed that chance. So this one is align your life. What is not aligned or needs to change? Answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? And we have diversity, racial diversity. And these just gorgeous. So again, we're not getting, as with the rose, we're not getting images that are really readable. I mean, this one really is fragmented. You know, something is fragmented and needs to align. That is descriptive of the card title. Answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? I mean, she's just sort of sitting there wistfully looking out, but without this, what would that say to me? Someone's waiting. What are you waiting for? You know? So yeah. Boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? This one is very descriptive. Look at the hands. Grasping, groping hand. And they're all like this. You know, like I need something. I'm going to grasp or claw something from you. Whereas, you know, if it was like this, just these open hands like this, or are they sending blood, whatever. But, and look at this with the hands out. So that's very descriptive. The crumbling. What are you clinging on to? Wow. Very tower-like. That's a gorgeous image. Ooh, I like this one too. Don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? I like this because the eyes, you know, the windows of the soul where your light shines out, and it's kind of not like this to shield them, but just sort of like this, dimming. And we've got this kind of pyramid with the eye. I love the message. Don't dim into to fit in. Mirror. Who or what is triggering you? So yes, there is clearly a mirroring going on there. I've been talking about this a lot lately. Mirror. Who or what is triggering you? So when you find yourself triggered, it is time to hold up that mirror. That's the flag. That's the signal. Uh-oh, there's something in you that you need to look at. That's why this person is triggering you. So I appreciate that. Priestess, how are you being called to step up and lead? That's beautiful too. I love the wings, the Sekhmet. Gorgeous. Star Mother, how can you mother yourself? That's a really good question. I like the rays. They're very fine. There, you could just, it just popped in for a hot second. Can we please? Oh, fussy. There we go. Beautiful. I love the moon. Very Mother Mary-esque. Starseed, what lights you up? Beautiful image. I don't really see this in here. Is that a cat? It looks like a cat. And it looks like a face there. I'm seeing a lot of, I am seeing that my camera has not refocused. Oh, only this one we have to look at. Starseed, what lights you up? So again, I don't see this reflected in this. I see an ocean. You know, there's not like a source of light shining on her or something. So Trust the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? Poke, poke, tickle, tickle. I like that we've switched to the black and white all of a sudden. See, I like some variety in my deck. Variety is not seen in the Rose Oracle. Trust your, and I know it's the Oracle for some. Trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? I just love the palette. The pink, the green, the soft blues. And then we have Warrior Woman. Have you answered your deepest calling? Now, I'm thinking that we're probably going to be at the end of this suit. And yes, because we go from W to B. So they are alphabetized within each suit. And now we are on to, so these were the inquiry cards. Now we are to the action cards. Break the chain. Ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. Look at this. Kind of these ghost-like figures stretching out behind. That's pretty descriptive. Dance with life. Do something to change your energy. I like these directives. Instead of a question, just change your energy. I mean, that's an excellent card. Deep replenishment. Retreat, rest, be held. Oh, look how lovely that is. Get grounded. Empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. Okay, get grounded. Empaths, period. Highly sensitives, period. Okay, the sentence structure is bugging me. All right, so anyway, get grounded. The initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. So what's the action here? I'm going to look it up. Rite of passage, some of the most, okay, work your light action, rite of passage, cross the threshold. So here it says crossing the threshold. But if you want to keep with the directive of the action suit, I like cross the threshold. All right. Inner temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. Now, I would like, it would have been nicer if this said tune in, you know, and then describe that down below to just have the, because it would help me differentiate the suits. Here we go again. Again, beautiful image. A lot of mirroring and, you know, repeating of images, and which makes symmetry, and I like that. Leap, see, directive. You go first. The universe will catch you. Ah, yes, and guess what? They don't throw out the net till you're falling. You have to be the one to trust enough to take the leap. That's gorgeous. Play, have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. I like the simplicity. Share your voice, come out of the cave, persecution, expression. Share your voice, persecution. See, that kind of, I don't understand why persecution is in there. I'm sure we could read, but again, I really like that every once in a while we've got black and white showing up here. Sisterhood of the Rose, beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, teacher. What's the directive? I'm sorry to get so fussy, but when you set up a system with very specific different things, I would love to see some internal consistency. Because if it's not going to be internally consistent to each of your suits, why not just make it a big whole oracle without suits? Sisterhood of the Rose is a lineage of priestesses. It's a path. Walking this path means being devoted to seeing and creating beauty wherever you go. You're being called to spend more time in nature. Doesn't say nature here anywhere. Being called to take a little more time to both notice the beauty that exists all around you and contribute to the beauty of the world in your own way too. And then work your light action says surround yourself with beauty and create beauty wherever you go. So we've got beauty and devotion, and I guess the keywords can call that to mind. But again, grammar matters. How much better? Soul family, call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. There's a nice directive. Call them in. So change it to call your soul family. Take a break. A life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. A life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. Okay, that's kind of an odd way. And I guess we're into the third one now, which is activation cards. The Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. Oh, that's beautiful. And again, we have those fine, fine lines, not really in rays, but just these arcs. Anna, grandmother of Jesus. Well, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. So I don't know what is being activated here. Let's look. Anna, grandmother of Jesus, was an ancient mystic who dedicated her life to laying the foundations for Christ consciousness to be woven through all of life. She's not widely known, but without her, Christ consciousness would not be rising as it is today. She represents the quiet dedication that's sometimes required to live a life of service. Okay. Let's look at the Work Your Light activation here. She teaches us we all have a part to play in the divine plan. Hold the card on your heart and say, Beloved Anna, thank you for laying the foundations for the divine plan. May the seeds of light within me be revealed, and may I surrender to my part of the divine plan. So that's what's being activated, is you really stepping into your role of the divine plan. Awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. Birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. Council of Light, divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realms. Ooh, this is gorgeous. Wow. The Great Gathering, it's all coming together. Intuitive hits, Soul Tribe. Imrama, where are you being called to journey to? Okay. What's Imrama? Oh, wait. The Celtic word Imrama means a journey of the soul. Okay, there we go. So that's what's being activated, is this journey. Keepers of the earth, you are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. Again, they're just such beautiful, pleasing images, colorful. Pillar of light, your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. Protection, call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. That's powerful. Call back your power is what's being activated there. Transformation, things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing. Wow. Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. This activation suit is really getting me excited. So that's really beautiful. And then the last one is transmission cards. And we have Akasha, your guidance is divine. Your guidance is divinely guided. What the heck? Akasha exists in the fifth dimension in the library of souls. All soul contracts, history, gifts, lessons, and more exist here. All right, while we have free will, there are also points on the timeline that are predestined or pre-planned. If you're waiting for a sign to proceed, this card is it. Time to call on the support of your helpers. Open myself to receive the wisdom of the Akasha. I'm ready to download any information from my soul records that's in my highest good and the highest good of all right now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's excellent. But just your guidance is divinely guided. Like, how about you're divinely guided? I don't get that. Then the next one is Lemuria. Creating heaven on earth, it's happening. I hold the codes of Lemuria and believe that heaven really can be a place on earth. Mintakan, longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. There's a mermaid here. I allow myself to be truly here and at home on this planet. Ooh, I need that. I release any grief around not belonging or feeling held and call in the perfect home. This is really good. Mintakans are a soul group who originated on a planet in the constellation Orion. Okay. I'm going to have to work with them. And then the Pleiades is the last one. I call upon Pleiadian consciousness of the highest realms and highest good of humanity to work through me. Let me be a channel for only the purest light of the essence of Source. Let me channel in a way that also serves me. Okay. I had to take a little break because it was treat time for the boys. So there's a lot of lemming and purring going on beside me right now. Okay, let's do a blessing. So I have to say, I like this deck better than the Rose. I'm not sure I like it as well as Starseed, but I do see that there's a difference, and I like the way it's set up. I'm tempted to say that, if I use it going forward, ouch, I won't even worry about the suits. Just don't even worry about them. The problem is you have to go dig through those 4 suits in order to find the page to look the card up on. So, just to make for ease of use, I still might put a symbol on them that tells me which suit I'm looking for. Anyway, let's try this again. By air and fire, may you be purified and charged. Certainly valuable messages. I can feel myself connecting with this deck in the way that I did not connect with the Rose. And again, I will say, if you vibe with rose goddesses, if you're the kind that smells roses when your, intuitive gifts come in, by all means, go for that deck. That's not me. All right. By water and earth, may you be blessed and made whole. And by the sound of the bell, first of all, may any negativity that I've spoken be cleared from the air, and may the spirit awaken. Guides and guardians, allies and ancestors, thank you for being here and helping me work with this deck. And thank you to the guides and guardians of Rebecca Campbell and Danielle Noel. I offer great gratitude to them for the work that they've done in, in service to the betterment of humanity. I really do appreciate it. So all my grumpiness and everything, I haven't published a deck. So they have my undying respect. And I offer fresh water. I offer the fire of Azrael to bring the spirit of divination in. Okay, let's give her a shuffle, and then we will find out how difficult it is to find the cards to look them up. Shuffling is no problem whatsoever. I'm pleasantly surprised. I think it's just because it's 44 cards, because it is that typical heavy card stock of Hay House. But looky, I'm shuffling. Whoops! And now they play with me. Okay. This I don't like. You see how they're bent and staying bent, so I'm going to shuffle them the other way. Then I'm hearing to cut and pull. thumb joints are doing funny things. All right. They're matte, you know, they've got that soft matte finish to them. Okay. I'm looking because there's some really subtle stuff going on in this image that almost looks like Arabic writing, but I see that it's mirror image, it's symmetrical, so it's not, but it caught my attention there. All right. So they cut shuffle, you know, adequately either way. They would benefit from getting hit with some fanning powder. Fanning powder is the stuff magicians use to make their cards fan evenly, and it really works a treat. But this isn't too bad. I'm still going to cut and pull, and please may we have a message. I'm going to do 3 cards for my viewers. What do they need to know right now? Do we need inquiry? Do we need activation? Is something being activated or initiated for us? What do we need to know? All right, card number 1. Nope. Give it some love. Give it some love. Ask to be let in. Leap. Align your life. Deep replenishment. Okay. So the first that we have is leap. You go first. The universe will catch you. I think this is probably action. Yes, it's an action card. Life bends for the courageous. I like that. Life bends for the courageous. The universe wants to support you, but first you need to leap, to throw your life up in the air. Perhaps you know what you're being called to leap toward or away from, but are scared to make the move. Or maybe perhaps you're waiting for a big fat sign or instruction manual or permission to do so first. If this is you, then this card is your sign and permission slip to take a deep breath and leap into the unknown. It's scary to let go of all that we know and hope for something new. And it's normal to feel anxious at the thought of letting go of what we know for sure. But this is the unavoidable process of rising. And right now, this is how you are being called to live. Nature is constantly showing us how to live with courage. Fall comes every year and encourages the trees to loosen their grip, to allow what once was so full of life to fall away leaf by leaf. For a moment, it feels like nothing will grow again. The branches are left bare without the comfort of what once was. But in the morn of spring, new shoots begin to appear, and something new is born that is even more glorious than before. You go first, take a good run up, and leap. And as I was saying before, they don't throw out the net till you're falling. Leaping is the ultimate act of trust. And when you show trust in the universe, in the process, in your gifts, in yourself, and you take that leap, even if it's not a leap, even if it's a step, when you take that step in the direction of your own, evolution, the universe will meet you more than halfway. Okay. Then align your life. That was at the very beginning. The inquiry cards. What is not aligned or needs to change? What in your life is no longer in alignment with who you truly are? We are cyclic beings in a constant state of change, evolution, of growth. Change is one of the only certainties of life. When you resist your cyclic nature, you resist life and feel stuck. Many of us have learned to be who the world wants us to be, but there comes a time when it is harder to hold on to this facade than it is to embrace who we truly are, to surrender to how we have changed and align life to that way of being. Okay, so it's a fragment again. And the thing is, when I finish a sentence, I think the sentence is finished, and then there's a fragment that comes along that actually belongs to that sentence, and I have to look back at what I just read. Okay. And what's that saying about, I think it's a butterfly or something, talking about the need to fly becomes so much stronger than the need to stay a caterpillar, or something like that. I know it's nothing like that, but I think you might know what I mean. If you do, comment down below so I know what I'm talking about. And there's another expression that says, and I can't remember, I heard it on Joseph Campbell's Power of Myth. And it was, you have to want enlightenment as badly as a man with his hair on fire wants a pond to dive into, or a pool to dive into. That's how badly you have to want it, because it sucks. It's a healing journey, and as my acupuncturist told me yesterday, healing hurts. Yes, it does. If you pulled this card, you are being called to let go of who you once were, or the things that you once defined yourself by. The job, the relationship, and the mask you wore, and to embrace who you truly are now, to courageously step into the person that you came here to be in full authenticity, to embrace your weirdness and your uniqueness. Perhaps you have outgrown some relationships or circumstances, and it is time to reassess and bring all the parts of your life into alignment so that they are congruent with who you truly are today. And the inquiry is, what in your life is not aligned or needs to change? Yes. She writes clearly. It becomes unclear with these sentence fragments. So if you pulled this card, you're being called to let go of who you once, the things that you once defined yourself by, blah, blah, blah. And then it could just take the two off there and make it statements. Courageously step into the person that you came here to be. Embrace your weirdness and your uniqueness. But because it's to courageously step in, to embrace your weirdness, my brain doesn't like it. It makes it unclear. Okay, deep replenishment. This looks like an action card. And it is. Retreat, rest, be held. The most selfless thing you can do is to fill up your own inner well. When we are running around half filled, we subconsciously look to things and people around us to give us the nourishment and nurturing that we so deeply crave. Nothing can grow in barren lands. And that's why there's cactus here. That stood out to me when I first looked at the card. There's this, the waters, and they're looking so lush. And then we've got desert. We've got these blooming flowers, but then we've got cactus. All right. Nothing can grow in barren lands. You are no good to anyone if you're running on empty. The feminine is bountiful, fertile, and rich. Tend to your own well and watch as the amount you have to give multiplies. If your inner well isn't full, you will find yourself craving things from the outside world to fill it. This is your body's instinctive way of reaching for the grounding and nurturing that we are not allowing ourselves. What nourishes you? What refuels your body? What is nectar for your soul? What brings you back to life? What is your secret medicine? What makes you feel abundant and fertile? Overspilling with life? It may be gardening, arranging flowers, getting a massage, using luxurious essential oils, snuggling up on the couch, hiking, sipping a good coffee at your favorite cafe, attending a women's circle, reading about sacred sites, spontaneous bike rides, walking along the beach, or yin yoga. Do we have to list all of the options? Okay. I mean, you've asked all the questions. I think we can answer them. What nourishes you is your medicine. When you give yourself the medicine that you need to be nourished, you nourish all those around you, for there is more than enough to go around. Yes. Do something that deeply replenishes you today. So we're going to leap. We need to put ourselves in that place of trust, because it's time to jump forward, not just crawl forward. It's time to leap forward and leap into that trust so that the universe can show us. And that, that card of your guidance is divinely guided. Is that what it said? This is like when you take this leap of faith and you go on trust, you are allowing the universe to show itself to you. And part of that is your own gifts and your own strength. So we are calling to be in that place of trust, to call upon the universe, to witness, not to catch us. We're not saying, oh, please catch me, catch me. We're saying, witness my trust. Witness me leaping into the next phase. Witness me, jumping to the next level. But the key is trust. Align your life. And when you're trusting in the universe, I mean, you need to trust in yourself as well. And to really take an authentic leap, it has to be grounded in, the thing that you propel yourself from when you leap has to be your true, authentic self. You have to be grounded in your own truth, or at least grounded right now in this present moment, even if it's just with 1,000 questions and not knowing what's going to happen. If you can ground yourself in trust, then that can bring some things into alignment. So what else might be signs of not being in alignment? Just, feeling fragmented, feeling like the things that I say I believe are not reflected in my actual life. So there's something. How do you know if you're in alignment? Does your life and the way you live it reflect the things that you say you believe? All right. Then, so we're called to really look at, are we being true to ourselves? Are we just quacking out beliefs, but we don't really believe them? And if you look at how you live your life and especially how you behave when things are uncertain and you have no answers and the carpet's pulled out from under your feet, that is when you will see your true beliefs. If you start freaking out that, everything's going to crash and burn and I'm going to die, you're not going on trust by much. So, how you, maybe not that first initial reaction, but how you behave when things start falling apart will show you what your belief system really is. And then you get to decide, am I in alignment with those beliefs? Or do those beliefs need to go and I need to replace them? And you can change your belief system. So deep replenishment, this is probably, that's activation, or an action card. Okay, I just read that, and I'm going back. I'm not in alignment with my own brain today. I want to know if you guys are experiencing this too, and I think a lot of it has to do with the sun. A lot of it has to do with Pluto sitting at this critical degree of Capricorn here on January 18th, 24. In 2 days, it goes into Aquarius again for a longer stint. So I'm feeling that as well, but I'm feeling like a lot of disconnection mentally, that I'll be, in the middle of doing something and just, So yeah, there's stuff going on. So when we check to see what's in alignment and what's out of alignment, we can bracket this process of realigning with trust and with self-care, nurturing, rest, refill the well. All right. It is a lovely deck. I think it is a very good deck when you need a jolt, or when you need to, what is it? Why am I stalled? What do I need to do? Because we've got these inquiries and we've got these actions and the transmissions as well. And you know what we didn't do? We didn't read the thingy. Well, it's all wrong now. I have to do it again. Just kidding. Okay. The box, you hold it at the earth. I call upon the wisdom keepers of the earth, wise beings who've walked before me, and the intelligence of the sentient beings of planet Earth. May these cards be activated with clear and grounded guidance and simple action. May they beat all who come into contact with them. May they beat all who come into contact with them home to the effortless rhythm of you. May they beat all who come into contact with them. So let's change all who come into contact with them to you. May they beat you back home to the effortless rhythm of you, our universal Mother Earth. It sounds like they're racing me to get home. Okay. In the heart, I activate the portal of my heart and the heart of humanity. May these cards act as doorways to the wisdom deep within the temple of my heart. May they always reveal the heart's deepest, purest, and most potent prayers and the soul's highest callings for the good of all. That makes sense. Now, you hold it above your crown. I activate the realm of the soul to envelop me with sacred space each time these cards are used. May they allow all who come into contact with them to receive whatever is for the highest good of their soul and the soul of all things. May each person who comes into contact with these cards develop an intimate relationship with their own soul and the universe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's lovely, but may they beat all who come back home to the effortless rhythm of, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So if I were to use that, I would rewrite it. Just that one sentence. All right, you guys, what do you think? Have you worked with this deck? Do you like it? I now have all of Rebecca Campbell's decks, I believe. So, but I'd like to know what your sense is if you have two or all of these decks. What are your favorites and why? Is there one you don't like and why? Just give me your opinion so I can, so we can have a dialogue, because I like answering comments. All right, you guys, thanks for hanging out with me. I will see you next time. Till then, this is Luna. Blessed be.